Hey, it's Alex here. So today I'm going to take you through some stretches to get you to the middle splits. If you're a dancer, if you're an athlete, and you just really want to get the most optimal range of flexibility that you possibly can, well, these are going to hopefully get you there. So what I'm going to show you today are some modifications of each stretch to hopefully progress you to getting into the deepest form or variation of that stretch. So we're going to be using big old cushions or pillows, whatever you want to call them. These are going to be your trusty friends to get you there, and I'll show you as we go. It'll become more obvious why. So we're going to start off with a bit of an explanation of how your anatomy works, and probably quite an important tidbit to help you understand and get into a deeper stretch. So coming down onto your side, you've probably seen dancers do this stretch. So they'll come and they'll bring the top leg straight and they'll kick it up. Now, if you see, if I put my foot parallel to my other one and try to go up, I'm really limited in how far I can go. But if I rotate my foot upwards, I can go a lot further. And the more I rotate it, the further I can go. So that's how your hip basically works in the hip socket. If it's that way, you're restricted because of the other bones and how that area works. So if you rotate, you go a lot further. So if you're a beginner, of course, I don't expect you to be able to do that. So this is probably a stretch that you'll be doing. I mean, you could do it now and you might be just here, and that's completely fine. But one day you will be able to work up to going a lot further. Okay, so that's your little anatomy test or anatomy lesson for the day. The next stretch we're going to do is a very simple forward fold. Now I'm putting down one pillow. You might want to put two pillows depending on your range of flexibility. So if I put two pillows and sit on them, you'll see how elevated my hips are as opposed to my feet, and how my knees naturally fall out. Now if I was to take the pillows away, if I was inflexible, I might be up here. And it's quite frustrating trying to get that stretch into the hips if your knees are up here. You want them coming down. So that's why we use a pillow to elevate the hips. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your soles of your feet together and you're going to turn them out like a little book. Like so. And what that does is it tells your hips to relax. Now you might just want to stay here, and what's important to remember is to relax, because as soon as I get into the stretch I feel all my muscles contracting. It's because your muscles have to get used to being in a different position or a different range of motion. So you'll find that your body at first in a stretch will resist it. So you've got to tell it to relax. So you do that by deep breathing and visualizing how your body is relaxing into that stretch and just going with it. Let gravity, let everything fall open. Tell everything to let go. Okay, now another good point to make, and I didn't say it earlier, is to make sure you do a dynamic warm-up before any stretches. You want to make sure your muscles are warm. And when I say a warm up, I mean at least 5 to 10 minutes of any kind of exercise that gets your heart rate up, because you want the blood flow to go to the muscles. You want everything, because what that does is it just sends the synovial fluid to the joints, allowing them to move a lot easier. If you don't know what synovial fluid is, it's basically just around each joint you've got fluid that increases when the muscles are warm. And first thing in the morning, you'll find that you're all creaky and stiff. And that's just because everything's dormant. So you want to get it moving, get that circulation going. Circulation. So this is a lesson on anatomy as well as flexibility. Okay, so this is your first one. Now, eventually you will be coming forward, you know, right over. You see, I can't come that far forward either yet. So this is something I'm working on. Okay, your next stretch, you don't need your pillow for, is what we call a frog pose. So you're going to come over on your belly and you're going to push your feet, soles of your feet together again, and you're just going to let gravity let them lower. So again, you're going to probably feel your glutes, your butt muscles tensing. Just tell them not to, tell them to relax, it's okay. And the cool thing about this one is that you can do it while watching your favorite series on Netflix. You can do it while you might be answering emails, whatever you're doing in front of your laptop. And because stretching, you know, it takes time. You want to be in these stretches for at least 30 seconds, if not longer, to let your body relax. And so it's good to multitask, I think. If you're doing homework, if you're reading, that's when you can do these stretches. And another little tip is if you want to help your body go deeper into the stretch, you can put one foot over the other ankle, and that will help push it down a little bit more. And remember to breathe, telling everything to relax. Do a bit of a body scan. Figure out whether you're tensing any muscles that you didn't quite realize you were. Okay, so that's the frog stretch. Now, a variation of that, if that's really uncomfortable for you, I'll grab myself a chair. Hello, don't need that. You can grab yourself a chair and you can simply come into a squat. And squatting is really good for opening the hip muscles. And the hip muscles are what you want to open up and increase flexibility in for your middle splits. So if you can't hold your squat like this and work to getting your feet forward, like that, then this is when your chair comes in, because you can hold onto it to stop yourself from falling backwards or forwards. Now, you might want to do this one at home, not at the gym, at school, or at your fitness center. They might think you're up to something a little bit weird. So leave this one for home, I think. But it's a really good one. You'll feel it all down the hamstrings, but particularly in the hips. Okay, so that's that one. Now, you'll see, okay, so the next one we're going to do is known as a runner's lunge. So you're going to come and bring one foot forward. And this is great for the hip flexor, which goes all the way down the front of your leg. My microphone's up. And you're just going to, this one's good as a dynamic stretch, so coming into the stretch, feeling it as deep as you can, and then coming back out again. Okay, so what's quite good in this stretch is to come down as at your deepest resistant point where you feel the stretch the most, and then ease out of it, and then come back down. Now, if you squeeze your butt muscles in this one, it actually works in your favor. I would say don't squeeze your butt muscles in your other stretches, but this one, it actually helps. Okay, and then of course you would swap over legs, do the same thing. And this is an awesome stretch for people who sit down all day. So if you're a student sitting in classes, or you're a desk worker, your hip flexors will get really shortened because you're sitting. And a fun fact, sitting is the worst thing that you can do for your flexibility and for your body in general, because most of us hunch over and we get all stiff and shortened in places that we shouldn't be. It's really bad for your back too. So this reverses that sitting that you've been doing all day, particularly in the hip flexors, which don't get a lot of love ordinarily. Okay, cool. So this is pigeon stretch. So you're going to bring one leg straight out behind you, and you're going to bring this leg forward in front of you and then rolling up onto that hip. Now, don't try this stretch if you already find the runner's lunge difficult, then I would leave this stretch out until you have a better flexibility, because it's a very deep stretch. Now, I feel it just sitting up tall, but if you want to go deeper, you come forward onto your forearms, or even right down. This is a real goodie. And this one's also very good for your side splits as well. Another top tip for flexibility is massage. Because if you have a build-up, which are the knots that people talk about in the muscle, that can restrict the way that your muscles work as well. So it's good to use a foam roller to just iron out all those kinks. Or go see a professional massage therapist. Even once a month is really beneficial. And if you can't afford a massage, then yeah, get a foam roller. They're very cheap. So the next one we're going to do is a figure 4 stretch. So the first one I would do if you're a beginner is to lie down on your back, and you're simply going to put one foot on the thigh of the other leg, and you're just going to raise that leg up. So you should feel the stretch all down this leg here. And that might just be enough for you. Now, as you get more flexible, you'll probably be able to pull that leg in closer and push that knee away to deepen the stretch. So that would be the second modification. And then the third, as you get more and more flexible, is to sit up nice and tall, and you're pushing that knee away from your body. And the closer this foot comes to your body, whoa, the deeper the stretch. Woo! I can feel that. And of course you do the other leg as well. All right, moving on. The next stretch we're going to do is a really simple one. Now you choose how many pillows you use to elevate your hips in accordance to your flexibility. So you're going to sit on your pillow, and you'll bring your legs out as wide as comfortable for you. Now, if you're here, or even here, totally cool. Remember, you've got to start somewhere, okay? So don't feel bad. And, you know, if you're embarrassed to do these in public or around people you know, do them at home. No one has to know. So here, again, we're just going to do a slight forward fold. Now, if you're here or even sitting up and you feel it, stay there and breathe into the stretch. See, I can feel I'm tense. Scan your body. Where are you holding that tension? Tell it to go away. Tell it to relax. It's okay. Because your body's going to freak out a bit. It's going to go, whoa, and it's going to try and protect you from injury because it thinks that your body is under stress. So just tell it, just reassure it. That's fine. It's all good. It's good for you. If you're feeling like you've progressed, then you can work at coming forward. Take it slowly. Yeah. And coming back up. Now, another top tip to help with your flexibility journey is to remember to stay hydrated. If your muscles are dehydrated, they won't work properly, and that goes for in your athletic performance or your dancing. If you're not hydrated, you're going to see your ability and your performance drastically decrease. So when people tell you to drink water, it's for a reason. You've got to stay hydrated, particularly for flexibility too. Drink up. So the last stretch we're going to do, I'm going to have to pretend I've got a wall. So we're going to move these pillows out the way, and what you do is bring your hips as close to the wall. Now I'm pretending this couch here is a wall. And this one's really relaxing to do at the end of your day, because during the day all the blood is running to your feet because you're standing up. Well, if you don't have a desk job. So when you lie down with your feet elevated, it gives your feet a really good rest. And of course, all your legs as well, because the blood's going to flow down to your body. And what you're going to do here is you're just going to let your feet, with your butt pushed up against the wall, just fall out to the side. And let gravity pull them down. You can help them a bit if you want, but you really don't need to. So the closer your hips are to the wall, the more support you're going to have. See, I have no support at the moment, so this is a bit of a workout for my legs. And again, if you can stay in this stretch for as long as possible, even with your legs like that, or here, or wherever your stretch is, the more benefit you'll get from it. And it's really relaxing at the end of the day too. Cool. So, ta-da! That is the series of stretches for the middle splits to help you get further and further in your journey of flexibility and get you to your goals and help you smash those goals of getting anywhere you want with your dancing or any sports that you choose. So give them a try. And if you've got any flexibility secrets that have helped you, I'd love to hear it. So leave a comment below, like the video. If you didn't like the video, hey, tell me why. And thank you for watching.